Hi there, Aries. This is Joy with Joy to the World, ready to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on in the world around you. Glad to have you here if you've tuned in before. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button and ring the bell out beside it. When you ring that bell, it will let you know anytime I post new videos, just like this one here. So Aries, some of the cards are already out and you're letting me know that there's like some stuff going on, some things coming in, but you're overthinking things. You're caught up in your head about something, and it's obvious is you're afraid of making a bad decision. That's what you're calling it. It doesn't mean it'll be a bad decision, but you're concerned about the outcome of what it'll bring, because it is, in that sense, it would make me think that it is focused on and about you, and that makes you a little nervous. Interesting. So we're going to get one of these cards. Some of my handmade cards to let me know a bit of the energy coming in outside of the typical tarot and oracle. That's why I shuffle ahead. Excuse me. So I don't have to go on a deep dive with you guys, but hey, welcome to my world. Okay, so tell me your secrets and sweet delights. So this has to do with a dream, some treasure, something you've been storing up inside, and that's why it might be seeming like a bit of a guilty pleasure, okay? And that makes you nervous because these two cards came out. That one about being crushed is the bottom of the deck, but these came out, said be prepared. You're moving on up. Be prepared. You are moving on up. Satisfaction is coming. And you get progress and increase, and that your heart kind of makes you a little nervous, a little bit concerned, because you're like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I would think that means you've been through a time of trial where you're not so comfortable either being the center of attention, about it being your turn. You know, like if you're always getting the door for somebody else, when somebody gets the door for you, you're like, as if it's a foreign occurrence. And so we're just going to go ahead and interject now that thank you and the flow can come on in. The flow of thank you and being in this open state of gratitude. Because over here, these are sidebar cards. These were ones for me, but I'll go ahead and give you a peek. You can see we've got indecision and the thinking woman. So you're standing at this crossroads, thinking and thinking and thinking, as opposed to feeling, which is so opposed to what Aries is. Aries is this red. It is that impulse. It is that stepping on in and following your heartbeat, the pulse of life. But this time, it's got you reserved, a little bit held back. And we're going to tune in to see why. But I can tell you this. It appears to be part of your path. Okay? Maybe that's the undergirding of the nervousness going on with it, is you know that once you step on this, there is no turning back. And although you do know the first step, which is that, whatever that is that's calling you, it's that you know nothing else beyond it. And that's a little nerve-wracking, because that could cause upheaval in the world around you, maybe people that you know, maybe job change, that type of thing, because it seems like a plunge, not a toe in the water. This is like jumping off the cliff into the ocean plunge, okay? And that's why you had the angel strength coming in alongside on the indecision on either side. This is what's flanking it, okay? And sorry for the glare, y'all. New setup, dealing with the lighting a little bit, trying to see where I can show you the cards better, okay? I appreciate your patience with that. But I do know it holds a lot of possibility. Can you see all these orbs of light flying around in this Temple Path card? You are not going it alone. Spirit is here guiding you. Trust Spirit to guide you through this, as you've done so many things before, but you do know this is a whole new path. This is a whole new change in way of life. It is this door, this whole new world that you're stepping into. Kind of like if you've ever seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They go through the wardrobe into into this whole new world of magic and mystery. And all that you always felt on the inside, existing in the world around you. Like they left a world that was plundered and in chaos, and in a sense they were temporary orphans. They were sent off to live with a relative, and so life could be dull, dark, dreary, the doldrums out there, and then they stepped into this world of magic and mystery where it was in its own form of difficulty, but because it was a different kind of difficulty, they weren't relegated to it. It's like they weren't trapped by it. Just like it's easy to help somebody else solve their problems because they're not yours, meaning the risk doesn't feel the same. There isn't that emotional charge or static or attachment going on. It's able to be more directed, more, you're telling me more led. Okay? So, Spirit is opening this door for you, and what is through that door is this path, right? Okay? It's this path. And you're coming on down, and you're moving on out, just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. She started on that spiral path too, okay? And that is the path of life. As we know, life isn't this straight path. It isn't this linear thing. When you step on the spiral path, you begin to see the folds and the crevices and the wormholes of life. You begin to step into the labyrinth where the magic and the mystery are, where the weaving, the tapestry, the colors, the interchanges, the connections, those sort of things go on, and the magic does begin to happen, because this is the world that you're stepping into. This is the world of prosperity, and that word prosperity can also mean life, living, alive, abundant. No longer, like there's this quote that says, a lot of people die at 25 and are buried at 75. It's like that. It's that living, that awakeness. It's the contrast of that, should I say. It's that vibrance, that vitality, that feeling alive, where you feel the wind on your skin, where you smell the fragrance in the air, where you taste the apple on your tongue, where you're really engaged with life, full stop. Like you're straight on in there, okay? So down beneath these, inside that door, this is kind of like the door to your heart, okay? And its power is number 11, is the deer. This is like your grounds to stand on. The 11 here is representing like 2 feet, or the 2 prongs of a plug, right? So our feet are poles, our legs are poles, and we are connected into the ground, and the electricity, the vibe, the pulse of life moves up through us, which is very Aries, okay? It's that energy that we were talking about. Ignore the indecision. Let's just take that away. That's very you, okay? It's very kinetic, very catalyst, very, you're saying stimulating. So anyways, here it's stimulating your mind. And you see you're crowned with this glory. And in this case, this is Jupiter. This is luck. This is power. This is manifestation. This is all good things being drawn to you. And as long as you're staying in balance with your mind, as opposed to, weighing them out, that begins to throw you out of kilter, and it begins to rock the boat and cause mayhem. So when you put all that aside and you come down into yourself, you put those poles, those prongs here, that 11 right, you put your feet onto the ground and you stand firmly planted, that then you see how your world becomes still and quiet and all in balance. Just like the deer, that is what is behind you here in the card, beckoning you, wooing you, calling you in, okay? And they're just simply saying, turn around. And you're like, you have this orb on top of your head, sorry, there it is. And you're like, I don't know if I can do that and stay in balance. I'm scared to move. I'm scared to move. That's gonna make me cry, y'all. So I pray the soothing wind, the calming comfort of the earth nurture you and soothe you in that take away that fear, that it just release back down to the earth, and that it move off as a vibration that moves through you, so that you could experience what it's like to be alive, to be a little nervous, and to be a little trepidatious about stepping out. But then that it clears your mind, and you remember who you are and how you do move and how you make decisions, and the power in who you are, and trusting your gut instinct, trusting yourself, leaning into this spiritual guidance, all these orbs, all these entities and energies that are present here for you. We see it reiterated in this card as well. Can you see all the magic stardust rising up? These are like fireflies. To me, fireflies are like wishers of the night. Like the little puffers, the dandelions that you blow on, they have all those little seeds. Well, to me, fireflies were like our imaginings, our dreams. And they're waking up and they're stirring with you. So get ready. I can see here that you have your own light, your own illumination, that you haven't been afraid of the dark, but you have been afraid to turn around and take a look, to turn around and go in this direction of the magical mystery ride, is what you're saying. All right? So don't think too much about it. Just ground down and slowly take it step by step. There was some song it used to say, it takes a little time to turn the Titanic around. When you have a big ship like Jupiter, that big power, that big energy, just take it step by step, day by day, turn it around. And in 30 days, in a month's time, you can make massive progress by taking baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step every day. Just an extra 10 minutes a day of just feeling that energy, calling in your instinct and your intuition, and those worries, those cares that are like flanking you here. For that 10 minutes, shut those down. Close them off. Step into this sacred room, okay? Go into that place of feeling and feel your instinct, feel your vibration, feel the kinetic power of it and how it stirs you and moves you, okay? 10 minutes a day, maybe twice a day, maybe once a day, who knows? You do that and you begin to feel yourself and you begin to relish in the sweet delights. It gives that some space for you to enjoy that energy without the fear, without the trepidation, and then you will begin to know more. It will begin to reveal its secrets to you. George Washington Carver, I loved it. He said, he's the one who worked with peanuts and the sweet potato and made, I don't know how many, countless thousands of inventions from it. And he said, if you love something enough, it will reveal its secrets to you. And in this case, it's choosing to love yourself. Sit in that room of love, that wardrobe, that spare room that is for you, right? And get in there and send away the indecision and ground yourself into that energy of feeling the beauty, the sweetness, the delightfulness of this dream, of this desire that is coming forward, and that is ready because it's time. Well, that's enough on that. So we can see over here of what is actively going on is you're afraid of your own power. And here that power is the permission to say yes, because there is nothing stopping you. There is no reason why you should or shouldn't go, because you've been, I know it's a human hand. Look, that is a human hand here on this dark wolf. And it's dark because it's in the night, but wolves are wounds, and you're concerned of being hurt or hurting others. And you're like, that's why the power's in your hand, the decision's in your hand. You're combing through the dark, kind of trying to look around for, is there any reason that I shouldn't go or couldn't go or whatever? Because that way then you could just dismiss this energy, this dream, and send it away as like frivolous, right? But there isn't one, and that's wearing on you and weighing on you heavily. And along with it, we have the Ace of Wands. This fear is blinding you. Can you see that? But see, you know what I see? Look closely. It hadn't put your star out. That star is still in your belly. It is gestating in you. You are expecting this, and you have for a very long time. I mean, look at all these feathers. Everything is ready to fly, ready to go. You have the strength, you have the power, because as you can see here, this is the head of the lion, okay? And that's why the strength card coming in is very important. You have the support, the strength, the power, and you will have the backing of friends and loved ones, but you have to know why you're doing it so that you don't like coerce anyone into the position of playing devil's advocate here, okay? Because of like speaking out your fears to others. That's why it was telling you to spend time alone and with yourself to really feel the beauty of this energy of your dream coming true, of what would that feel like, what might it look like, and then the secrets begin to spill forth because you're spending time with yourself in love. Love is the opposite of fear, okay? Fear shuts the doors, it clams up, it closes off, it goes la 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 la, where love opens and it sits. And it sits without judgment. It receives, it listens, it mulls it over, it allows it to rest for a while until it can see what perspective it's bringing in, okay? Now underneath here we have, the bottom card. We have the Nine of Pentacles. That's what's beneath this. This is what is sitting under here. Can you see? And thanks for forgiving the glare, y'all. Look, well, wait, there's the glare on your hand, right? Sorry. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So it's telling you don't fear. Because the only thing you really fear is the wrong decision, and there isn't a wrong decision, but you do know there is no turning back after this. It's kind of like once you quit a job, how do you get it back? You know, once you cut the cord, how do you retie it, right? Once the baby comes out, you can't put that baby back in. I promise you. Doctors tried with me. That was not fun, and it's a dangerous thing to do. But you are set up, and you're ready to put forth your own backing, to back yourself up in this. That's what I want you to know here, is you're ready to stand by your decision. Okay, can you see that coin in her hand? You're ready, and you've already made it. You just don't know which way to turn and when to go, and all those, you know, the secrets, right, of fleshing it out. And here is why. Okay, because it's coming in quickly. You can feel the pulse. You can hear the hoofbeats. I mean, I hear them here. And you feel like you're being pulled in opposite directions, and that's because you're still entertaining this energy. Can you see? Can you see what this Chariot card is like here? It's like these. And you're kind of stuck in the middle. And if you're stuck in the middle and it's only about you, right, because other people are coming along to support you, it's this energy, then you are putting yourself in this condition, wearying and wearing yourself out when you have this journey coming up ahead of you, okay? So conserve your energy, you know, stop the fear. When you shut down this fear, your strength begins to charge you up, and it gives you the power and the purpose to be, as this said, be prepared. It's not just the other card that you're moving on up and progress is being made. It's be prepared, satisfaction is coming. And you're back to like the nails, like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But let me take a deeper peek down in here. It's going to bring in balance in energy for you. It's going to bring in life, love, happiness. If you let it. All right. You can't sit here and step out with one foot and be like, well, show it, prove it. You know, that type of thing. That energy has already altered the experience. But if you come to peace with this, right, you come to peace with it being your decision, and you quiet this fear, and you charge up in your strength, and you get prepared, and you step forward with the confidence and boldness that you typically move around in, right, that it's going to soothe you. It's going to smooth the waters. It's going to be smooth sailing going from there. And then underneath the Ace of Wands, we have the Five of Swords going on. And alongside that, the Queen of Wands. So let me take a peek at what's going on here. What are you trying to tell me? For some of you, this is something you've tried before, is what I'm hearing. And you kind of gave up, is what I'm seeing. But it's reminding me, they're pointing back over here, going, look, 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 look. You tried it in this energy, and it may not have been definitely not a full wholehearted effort. It was like it wasn't full, it wasn't wholehearted, and it was half. You can't bake a pie, cut a slice out, keep it for yourself, take the neighbor, and say, I baked this just for you. No, because it's obvious that part of it is missing, and that's what you're telling me here. Part of it was missing. Your passion wasn't there. Your passion was that torch was being lit and consumed out of fear, out of indecision, which is very disorienting, and therefore you couldn't really get on the same page with yourself. So that's the way that you sort of sold yourself out in this before. And it's not that you even took necessarily any outward steps, it's that things seemed to fizzle before they really began, and you could see where it was going because that's where you were seeing it going, and it played out in the way that you thought it would. So on the other side of your power in the Deer, we see the truth of what's going on. The Three of Discs. This is the happy family. Wishing for something more, wanting to hold in your arms. Remember over here, the Ace of Wands? See that beautiful dream that you're expecting, that life down inside of you that's taking root, wanting to take hold and come forth and be born, wanting to see and express your own, it's not like power, that type of power, it's your own authority of who you are, the fullness of who you are, being able to taste and see what you're made of. And this is written in the stars. I can only tell you what I see here. I don't make any promises or anything like that. I'm not here to give you advice. I'm here to give you insight and kind of like some road signs, some margins on the side of the road to look at. but you've been carrying this for quite some time. You've been longing for this and dreaming of this. And they're saying so has more of you. Let's leave that and see what they mean by and more of you. Okay, because 2 cards came out with this. We have the High Priestess. Okay, she was upside down. Which would make sense. It's talking about your fertility, your openness to receive. Okay, so you're telling me this is going to start a trickle down, a tumble down effect that once you go in, you can't go back. That you do have free will. I mean, that's what you're saying here. And yes, you do. You have free will. You have free will to choose. This is your life. This is your choosing. But you can't put this off on anybody else if you turn yourself down. Okay, that's on you. It's up to you to get on the same page with yourself about what your dreams and desires are. And if you choose to turn your back on this, then still go to the state. Get on the same page with yourself. Find out what your dreams really are and what you're willing to pay for them, what you're willing to stand behind, take the action on, make this decision and shut down the fear about whatever. But I can tell you this one that's coming in is very time oriented. It is already in queue. Okay? And just like when you're on the phone waiting for your turn, you're in queue. You are free to hang up. That's what you want to know. You're free to hang up. You're free to change it. And you're going to change your family line. You're going to change and off-put this dream and desire into the next generation. And that's the thing about those of us when we come through generational lines and they talk about generational curses or karma, that type of stuff going on. As things that your parents shut down on can be passed on to you, and what were dreams for them can be burdens for you because it adds to your life. But life can only back up through so many generations, like traffic, before like benevolent beings and this stuff has to come along and has to push it through, flood it through to get it to go on out, that it will get achieved and accomplished even out of time, out of season. And that can bring difficulty. Okay? So from that we have the Queen of Swords. You're saying take another look. Okay? Take another look. There's something just on the other side. Like, in your mind, it's going to be this deep, dark, dangerous forest, this enchanted forest that bad things always happen in. And they're like, no, it's really just one tree. It's really just one tree. It's one thing. And just beyond that is the castle. Just beyond that is the fantasy, the dream, the whatever. And this is what's going on inside. Take one more look. So I'm going to take another look just like it says. You hold the power of believing and you hold the tree of life. Okay? You know what brings you life and what brings you depression, what brings you happiness, and what brings you despondency and despair, okay? So I will go ahead and turn her upright so that we can get out of that hangman state, because the High Priestess is about your power, the power of your knowing, the power of your intuition, and the seeds of your mind, the intelligence of your mind to know who you are and what you like. Nobody's forcing or pushing this on you, but because you're afraid, and that's what fear can do. Fear can seem like a master, that it'll take something even as beautiful and as innocent as this and begin to make it like some brute, some like warlocky thing in this forbidden forest of danger when really it's just one tree. Can you see back behind here? Here's where you're going, okay? Here's where you're going. But we're going to step down to the cards down beneath it, because I see lots of things. There's sadness, there's weariness, there's tiredness, there's fear. There's fear of going alone. Okay, let's see. So we have another Chariot. We have the Chariot on this side too. Remember? Look, we have two Chariots going on. Okay, this one was pulling you at odds. You didn't know what to do. This one, they're going full force in the same direction. And I keep hearing, it's time, it's time, it's time. So the clock is ticking on this. I remember the game when I was a child called Perfection. It's this hard plastic device that you push down the board, and it has all these crazy shapes in it with little peg pieces that you put down in it. The timer is set at the top, and you hear it going tick, 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 as you hurriedly pop these very shaped peg pieces into the holes before the board pops up and explodes. That is what is happening. I hear the ticking. I hear it counting off there, and it's moving, and that's what's making you nervous. And that's the Seven of Pentacles. The sorrow and the sadness in the swamp. The swamp of sadness, like in the never-ending story. You're sad to leave certain things behind. And in the background on the trees, you have the ibis sitting there. So really, the thing to know here is the main thing you're leaving behind is the old you. It can be perceived as other things as well, and they're saying that's just for a time. That is just for a time. Then we have the Tower. It's like it's going to blow your britches off. This thing's going to be amazing. It's going to be fine. It's going to be more than you can imagine or you could know. Divine power is coming in to blow your mind is what they're saying. But it's going to blow your britches off too. I got to tell you that. There's no turning back on that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I see celebration. I know it's odd that I would see that in this card, but I'm seeing what they're showing me, right? It is divine magic. It is solar power. Like you become so lit, so awakened, so illumined that, well, it's like the Grinch when his heart grew 10 times that day and it just blew off the boundaries. It blew off the limits. That's why you wouldn't be able to ever go back. That is the transformation. That is, you'd be missing your old self. Your tired, broke, desperate self. And that can be broken many ways, right? You won't miss the pain, is what they're saying. And then in comes the judgment. Being set free. This Tower, you see? You see the 3 beams there? That's this. It's coming in. And this is coming into your mind. And then now this is coming into your world. It's setting you free and giving you permission to do this very thing. Right? To move on up. To move on up, to be prepared, to have a heart that's ready and receptive to life's interplay with us. I mean, that's why we came here. We came here to do this, to live even more joyfully, right? But yeah, it can be turned up. Freedom rock. Those commercials, turn it up, man. Yeah, so step out of despair. Stop thinking about things. Go into this room, get a little into your feel, spend some time with yourself, tiny time, baby step, baby step, baby step. And in a month, you'll be feeling so radically different. And it's not about the feelings being bad or anything. That's the magic, stepping into that room, doing that transformation. Because we have the red magic, which is our blood, sweat, and tears. We have the white magic, which is our hopes, dreams, and fears, right? So you're sitting in that white magic, converting them and moving through the energies of the hopes, dreams, and fears. And when those come together and the rubber hits the road, then you get the green, the life, the beauty, the prosperity, this peacock energy and the divinity, because you have help. Help is on the way. Help is here, is what they say. It's in your hand, the power. Okay? So Aries, wow. Lots of Chariot. It's coming. It's coming. I would say don't fear. Be fearless. Be faithful. Spend that time. Get into your closet. Sit with yourself, your magnificent self, your rare dynamic beauty. And let your soul, let your heart begin to tell you its secrets about this journey, about the steps coming forward. Now, I'm going to sit on the other side of this camera as well and receive this message too with you guys. I'm going to tune back in and hear what it has to say, because I have Chiron in Aries. And as we all know, Mars is in Aries. Lilith is in Aries. So it's really about the power and the resurrection of awakening and shaking up those dreams, shaking them from your hair and letting them come to life in this world, in this season, in this time and era. Life would thank you, and life saying, mwah, thank you, I do, tell them joy. So life thanks you in advance, and so is your future self. So take courage, my dear friend. This is Joy saying I'll talk to you soon. Bye.